What up, people? Crack Lemonade here, and once again, Power Rangers time. Um, but this time is definitely more of a question, and it's something that kind of ruminating more and more on as I make these Power Rangers videos. Um, because the more Power Rangers videos I seem to produce, the more uh Twitter's algorithm feeds me like YouTube shorts of like Power Rangers stuff. And I look at it and it's very weird. I um I I'm finding a lot more out about the comics, and it seems like there is like um definitely like commonality in people who don't necessarily like have issues with certain aspects of Power Rangers and the desire to fix Power Rangers, which kind of manifests itself in the Boom comics, in my opinion. It just seems like uh that those comics, like the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger related comics in the Boom comic series, were created by fans who grew up watching Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and saw some of the flaws in Power Rangers, so then they create their own stories to try to uh bridge the gap between the show writing and further character development. And I did not I did not want to cross that bridge. It's something that really I looked at it and I'm like, yeah, like I just want to point out these problems with, or like these things that I noticed about the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers series. Maybe people have noticed it before, maybe they haven't. Um but I never like it's just interesting to me um as I kind as I kind of like become more and more adjacent to the Boom Comics universes, uh the more I'm like, oh, cool. This isn't for me. But there is an audience who it is for, and it's for people who might have been unhappy with the original run of Power Rangers, saw some of the plot holes, and want more story building and world building in Power Rangers. Um, and for me, I definitely do want to see like world building and story building, but at the same time, I am not I'm not married to any one team of Power Rangers. So if a new team came along and they had like a really good story, um they were all like kind of super developed and they had their own reasons for fighting, kind of like Power Rangers SPD. I feel like they accomplished that a lot with their characters and during their season, where I was very drawn in by everything that happened in that show. Um, and when I tried to watch, like, for example, I think uh, I tried to watch Super Mega Force, and I tried to watch Dino Charge when they came out, and I made it about 12 episodes in. But the thing that really got me wasn't really the short seasons. It was just what I would like to call plot whiplash. Like, the plot was just moving too fast, and it it was moving too fast. There's no connective tissue there. I don't care about the characters. I'm not especially drawn in by the action. The show is just existing to me, and I think a lot of it, in my opinion, became paint by. I feel like paint by numbers is a bad example, because I'm pretty sure that if I watched the seasons I didn't watch, I could find a couple episodes here and there that I enjoyed, and I'm pretty sure that if I like looked up content and like looked up like reviews of Power Rangers, I would find good reviews from seasons I didn't watch on like episodes that really stood out to that person. And that is kind of the beautiful thing about being a fan of a show. It's like everybody fans a little bit differently. Um, everybody fans a little bit differently. Everybody has um what they like and what they don't like, and nobody can really take that away from you. But at the same time, um I say all this, and I'm wondering what makes a good season of Power Rangers? Like, what makes a successful season of Power Rangers? Because in my opinion, um the original run of Power Rangers up to Turbo, it they had like a formula, but they didn't know how to, I guess, capitalize on it. Um, and I think a lot of that seems to come from um contract negotiations. So, the uh Austin St. John, Toy Trang and Walter Jones want to get paid more. So they're written off the show, right? David Fielding, Zordon, he comes up to them. He has whatever meeting that he has with them, and they're like, okay, we're going to let you go. We're going to get a new voice actor to be Zordon, and we're just going to use your face. Bam. Um, season 3. Amy Jo Johnson. Something happened, and she ended up wanting to leave the show. They create a storyline for Catherine, and they replace her as the Pink Ranger. Karen Ashley. Karen Ashley wants more money. She goes to them. They do the Zeo quest, and they write her off and replace her with Nakia Baris, her basically distant cousin who quantum swapped with her, and like, she decided to live in Africa and do all that. Um, and then even in Zeo, I saw a clip from Steve Cardenas on YouTube where he basically explains that Rocky wasn't originally planned to be written off, But then there was an issue with the contract negotiations that caused him to be written off, which, you know, you could probably go back and rank the write-offs, and they definitely did Aisha and Rocky so dirty. Like, really, Zordon, like, Rocky breaks his back, and Zordon's like, oh, he can't be a Power Ranger no more. Tough luck, guy. Good luck. There was no follow-up, because it seemed like the way he was written off, like he was injured. He could heal. Like, he wasn't. It wasn't like he was like paraplegic or anything, but it was just like he injured himself. He injured himself, and you never see him again. But then you go into Turbo, and we get 20 episodes of Tommy's team, and then we get introduced with an entirely new team, which, again, I bring all these examples up because they come across as entirely reactive instead of being proactive. I don't think that a lot of these cast replacements were the original plan. It doesn't seem like it because of the execution of these write-offs during the series. So, I made a video the other day where I asked if season 3 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers should exist. And that's a serious question because when you really look at it, it seems like Saban did not know what to do with Power Rangers past a certain point. And the idea was to just produce, keep making it, trying to keep the toy sales up. But there really wasn't a lot of effort put in to the writing of the show. And when I say that, I do not want to hear that, oh, there were good episodes in Zeo, there were good episodes in Turbo. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is there was no long-term contingent plan. Not that the writers could throw together a good, a string of good episodes in a season with the footage they had. Because, one, I think there is an incredible amount of talent that goes into writing a show where half of the footage is pre-shot, and then you're shooting the other half. Like, you're writing for the other half to make the pre-shot footage make sense. There is a lot of creative thinking. There is a lot of work that goes into that. So, one, do not want to discredit the show creators because that is a large task. But I do definitely think in terms of creative direction, there was a little bit lacking there. And a lot of these decisions were made reactively instead of proactively. Their proactive plans of what Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 3, should have been to them might have fallen through. And that's neither here nor there. But at the same time, it is one of those things that we are left to deal with. Because Power Rangers is currently on a hiatus. And so, whatever form it comes back as, how how do the showrunners know how to make a good Power Rangers season? Because it just kind of seems like they don't. And maybe, like, for me, my opinion for the past couple years is like, maybe they need to stop using the Japanese footage and make their own thing. Like, I, in my opinion, the Japanese footage is training wheels for a bicycle, right? Like, it's teaching you the fundamentals, but eventually you got to take the training wheels off. You got to put a little bit more money into the production, because at the end of the day, that's what that's what people are paying for. That's what people are watching. They're watching the production. They're watching the character development. They're watching the Rangers, do action. And in turn, they want to purchase the items that the Rangers use during the season, whether it's figures of them in costumes, whether it's weapons, whether it's Zords. The the action of the show dictates, the interest in potential sales. And also, like, consumer interests change. Like, not everybody's going to be interested in action figures forever. And especially if it's not at a reasonable price point, it isn't going to be something that keeps people coming. So yeah, I don't know. These are things that I'm thinking about. I don't have an answer to. And if you have an opinion on what makes a good Power Ranger season and what Hasbro has to do to um keep that momentum, let me know. This is Crack Lemonade, and I will see you guys next time.